Well, for KSL 5 News.
Morgan, thank you. For more than a year, the KSL investigators have revealed how the housing boom has resulted in serious building problems and construction defects across the state. A shortage of building inspectors has also made it hard to keep up with demand. A Utah lawmaker has proposed a solution.
HB 98 would allow builders in some cases to go around city inspectors. KSL investigator Brittany Glass explains what that means for homebuyers.
Jason Larson has been in the construction business in Utah for over 20 years.
The first house I built took me 97 days.
Larson owns JPL Construction and recently finished this townhome project in Kaysville.
We bought the ground in April of 2017, so it took longer to permit it than it did to build it and occupy it. And that's excessive.
Under current Utah law, cities have 3 days to complete an inspection and 14 for the permit process. What happens if local municipalities and their building departments can't meet those deadlines? Representative Paul Ray has proposed a solution with House Bill 98.
The builder has the option to go out and hire an independent third-party inspector to finish the inspection and the subsequent inspections through the end of the project.
City leaders aren't big fans of the idea.
Buildings are the largest investment most people make in their lives, and in an overnight structural issue or other problem caused by a building defect, you can basically wipe out someone's net worth.
If a city does what they're supposed to do, this bill never kicks in.
Representative Ray says cities are to blame for costly home prices. HB 98 also addresses housing affordability by limiting zoning requirements. If the bill passes, it would no longer allow local government to make rules on things like minimum square footage or mandatory exterior materials.
Can't tell me what color my house is, or what the pitch on my roof is.
But because HOAs and builders have a say in requiring those things, opponents to Ray's bill say homebuyers will ultimately pay the price.
Too much of legislation is simply for the benefit of a certain special interest group, not for the public.
Brent Ursenbach retired as a building inspector from Salt Lake County and now works independently. House Bill 98 could technically bring him more business, but he says his workload is too large as it is.
I see the home buyer as being the loser in this thing.
Another concern, there's nothing in the legislation right now that says builders would have to hire an inspector with specific qualifications. It just says they be licensed by Doppel. The KSL investigators receive tips all the time about costly construction defects. In the last 3 years, the number of complaints against contractors has increased more than 28%. This matters because homeowners have very little recourse.
Well, those are sobering numbers. Representative Ray has received a lot of criticism for this bill because critics say he has a conflict of interest.
That's exactly right. Ray is the CEO of the Northern Wasatch Home Builders Association. He says he disclosed the conflict, and because he's not a builder, he wouldn't make any money if the bill fails or passes.
All right, Brittany, thank you. For our extensive reporting on this issue, go to the Investigate section of KSL.